Welcome to the Retreat Leaders Podcast, the show for visionary coaches, healers, wellness pros, and small business owners who aren't just here to host another feel-good getaway, but to build a profitable, impactful retreat business. I'm your host, Shannon Jamail, retreat strategist, business mentor, and owner of a 46-acre retreat center. I've hosted over 100 retreats around the world, and I've made every mistake so you don't have to. Each week, we'll dive into the mindset, marketing, money, business, and mechanics behind sold-out, profitable retreats. Plus, hear from expert guests who are walking the talk. Whether you're planning your first retreat or scaling your 100th, you're in the right place. Welcome to the show. Hey guys, welcome back to the Retreat Leaders Podcast. Before I start today, I have a big favor to ask. You hear it in the commercials on my show. You're like, yeah, you probably fast forward through it, but I really need you to do me a favor. And if you are listening to this, please pause and go subscribe to the show. Even if you end up hating me later, you can unsubscribe. You're not married to me. So if you could just subscribe to the show, that would do so many great things for us. So I really appreciate it. Today, I am super excited, especially about our topic and about our guest. But I've got a special guest on today, and we are going to dig into some yumminess. And I'm going to let her fully introduce herself. But welcome, Raisah, to the show.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited you're here. Can you just tell us a little bit about who you are and what brought you to where you're at today?
Absolutely. So I'm Raisah. I am a business coach, a spiritual mentor, and I really pride myself in also being a retreat leader. And I think that it's probably one of my most favorite hats to wear, being able to really serve women who consider themselves to be visionaries, leaders, entrepreneurs, women who are looking to really activate and go within. That's the soul tribe. That's my soul tribe. So just throughout the last 5 years of really being able to follow my heart, allowing my heart to be my compass, and allowing the dream to just birth into fruition. And now I'm here with over 30 retreats under my belt, and I'm excited to share my knowledge with all of you.
I love this. Yes. Okay. We are going to talk about something that I think might be a hard topic for some people to hear, and for different reasons too. But one of the things that we're going to talk about is outgrowing clients and spaces, and then what it takes to charge your worth. And so just to get started, let's just start with the idea of outgrowing. Like, what does that mean to you when I say we've outgrown a client, a space, or a season?
Ooh, I love this question. And immediately with growth, yeah, growth is uncomfortable, right? And I like to think of growth as when you're a little kid and you're outgrowing a shoe. How do you know it's time for a new shoe? Well, it becomes really tight and it becomes uncomfortable. And it's that physical sensation that you literally feel this discomfort and you know it's time to leave that space that your foot belonged to, your feet belong to, and then give yourself a new space to have comfort, right? Or be able to expand in. And that is the same concept when I look at outgrowing spaces when it comes to clients. We are constantly evolving as leaders, we're expanding. And we would do a severe injustice to ourselves when we play small and we cap ourselves at a certain limit. And it's okay to let clients go, to let spaces go as you are stepping into another version of your leadership, or I like to call your sovereign leadership. Where you were 2 years ago is not where you are right now. From the coaches, the mentors, the trainings, the experiences, I should say, that you've had. So as your bandwidth has and your capacity has now expanded, I think it's so important to stay true to that. And when you're bringing more things to the market that is speaking to your truth and the identity that you are in, it might no longer resonate with the clients that you once served. And of course, we want to hold everyone as leaders, right? Of course, we want to be able to show that we have capacity. But I think it's extremely powerful to really be in not just an abundant state of mind and frequency, but really like your wealth frequency, and not attach yourselves to those who were a part of your movement or your retreats or your your world before. I look at that now as like, wow, why am I holding on so tightly to that? Am I afraid to let them go because they won't like what I'm putting out? And this is a conversation I've had with myself as I allowed myself to grow. It was very uncomfortable. I played small for a while, and a lot of the women that I worked with, they also struggled with this, where we kept our price locked in at a certain rate, hoping to sustain those clients that we worked with for such a long time. But as you continue to grow and, like I said, expand, you're going to want a new shoe, right? And that's what happens. You're going to expand. So it's either the clients that you're working with or a percentage of them will see that growth in you, believe in what you're creating, choose to, love the work that you do so much and your style of leadership and join you on that path, or you're then going to attract those who are a frequency to what you are creating, who see the value in your price point. I've had women who in the past would say, I love your retreat. It's a luxury retreat, but it's not a luxury price for me. And that was like a huge,
Nice.
yeah, that was like a big call forward, an invitation to level up. Because if I'm calling it a luxury retreat and I'm providing luxury services, why is my price not reflecting luxury? There was a
I
huge
love it.
discrepancy with that. Yeah, so I think it's so important to not be in a scarcity mindset and try to uh, just hold everything that you can because you're afraid to let people go. It's okay to let people go. It's okay to, with love part ways so you can make space for those that you're meant to serve in the season that you're in.
I almost feel like there might be two fears that people are feeling when they're feeling like their shoes tight, which is a great analogy, by the way. I feel like there's the fear of like hurting the people that they've worked with or offending them or whatever may be the case there. And then also fear that they're not going to be able to backfill them, right? Because it's a new shoe size. It's a little big, it's like it doesn't quite fit comfortably. We walk awkwardly, whatever. And so I'm almost thinking that it's like the two fears are happening at the same time. And I'm resonating with this so much because I'm 15 years I've been in this business. Obviously, this same person who was resonating with me 15 years ago doesn't necessarily resonate with me today. Some of that is we both have grown, and so they have grown with me, or we've elevated together. And some are just like, nope, they're staying in their space, and I'm elevating to the next space. It's not wrong or right; it just is what it is. And so I love that this conversation is coming up because I do think that there's a lot of retreat leaders out there who maybe they've held now 4, 5, 6 retreats. They're headed into their 10th. They're going around that bend of like, I'm feeling really good. I've upped my game. I've learned new skills. I'm bringing in more experienced talent. I'm building up something really big, but they're stuck on that original price point that they first were releasing their retreats out in. Or worse, they're even thinking, well, there's so many people out here doing this. Do I need to discount? And you know how I feel about discounts. We can't even go there. So I love this topic so much.
I love everything that you just mentioned, and I think it is such a valid fear to internalize potentially hurting the people that you serve.
Hmm.
And the whether it's women or men and women, whoever it is that you are showing up for, I think we have such deep love and respect for them, and it's want that desire of, yes, of course we want to include them on everything that we're doing. And from personal experience, I always try to make my retreats as accessible to everyone. And that's because the work that I do, I want to be able to help everyone with somatic work, with mindset work, with moving past subconscious beliefs and really stepping into not just your power, but becoming what I call the CEO of your life. And I want to give everyone the access to that, to step into that, right? So I carry this fear that, but if I price my retreat, this portal, this expansive immersion at a rate that the person who really, really wants this, like they can't afford it. And I carry that for a long, long time. And I capped myself. I literally capped at a limit because I kept playing that story and that narrative in my head. And then I realized one day that if I want to really serve in the way that I'm desiring to, which is to take up space, which is to call in more people, which is to, yes, be able to serve and help those who maybe don't have all the financial means. How can I activate them? To me, it was one, pricing my services and my this experience that's so intentionally created at a price point that reflects everything I've poured into it. Again, that frequency really being a match for everything that I have put into it. The number excites me. I feel great about this. It's an energetic match. Two, if to me, this is completely personal, if I have 10 people who are all at a certain price point, I can offer a scholarship. It then gives me that leverage to have a scholarship for every single retreat. That would not be possible if I was charging way under of what I know it's valued at, burning myself out, not being able to sustain my own life, and then you're showing up to your retreat and this is not, it's just feeling like a mismatch.
Yeah.
So all of that is something that I carried, and that fear is so real, but I think it's important to really know your worth as a leader and what you're bringing to the people that you're working with, to trust in your abilities, to understand that hope the intention is the women or the men or both people that you're serving, the community that you're serving, that they come along with you as you grow, and that if they too have been in scarcity the same way you are maybe looking at scarcity of your clients, that they can elevate with you and be on this cohesive journey together. But at the same time, if some people need to leave your world and come back, that's okay too. I think it's that inner trust that what's for you will never miss you. And that if you're being called to rise, if you're being called to take up more space, then there's a reason you have that pull in your heart. There's a
Yeah.
reason for that.
Hey, retreat leaders, listen up. If you've been struggling to price your retreats, fill your retreats, or even start your retreat business, this is your moment. I'm hosting a one-day high-impact workshop in London on October 10th, designed to help you plan, price, market, and profit from transformational retreats. Whether you're just starting out or scaling to your next level, this room is where your clarity begins. And you want to be in rooms that actually level up your business. By the way, it's a total business write-off. What better way to visit London and write it off for business? Grab your spot now at retreatproworkshop.com or click the links in the show notes. I'll see you in London. I love this. I love that you use the word accessible only because I get to like jump on this accessible bandwagon for a minute. Accessibility is subjective, right? I mean, what's accessible to one person is maybe not accessible to another or whatever may be the case. But I know the intention behind what you're saying because I think all of us feel that way, which is we do want everyone to be able to feel the healing or the transformation or the promise or whatever it is that we're delivering. Yes, we do. But I want everybody to keep in mind, as far as accessibility in itself, like that's subjective. And a lot of times people will figure it out. When they really want that transformation, they
Yes.
will find a way to pay for it. They absolutely will.
Mhm.
All of that to say, though, too, I do the same thing as you. I make sure that I am making a profit that's energetically aligned, that makes me feel fired up. I can't wait to serve these people. And that profit also allows for at least one guest to come on scholarship. Sometimes it's more than one, it just depends. And so I'm right there with you. But I think the main point, too, to take out of this is when we are not feeling like we are feeling like, at the end of the day, I've put so much into this and you are not feeling that energetic reciprocity. I never can say that word right. Exchange what, the financial abundance and then the energy that you're giving. If you're not feeling that, you are going to become bitter, resentful, burned
Yes.
out, and they will feel that, by the way. So you're actually, to me, causing harm. And I come from a therapeutic background, so it's me, I'm like, do no harm at all costs. If you are not feeling good about what you are charging, you are doing harm, not just to yourself, but to your guests and to the industry as a whole. And this is what pisses me off so bad when I get these retreat leaders out here that are like, well, as long as I break even, or as long as it pays for my trip, or it's okay if you lose money. The bullshit. Bullshit. It's not. It's not a good energetic exchange. It's actually causing harm. It causes harm to your subconscious. It causes harm because the guests do feel it Listen to me now. They do feel something's off when you are not feeling like you are like you're an exchange that feels good to you. They feel that, right? And then again, it hurts the whole industry because y'all, this is not a fucking vacation. Well, this podcast and what we do here is about retreats. You want a girls trip, man? Go do you a girls trip. Go book it on Expedia or whatever the hell you want to use. These are retreats. There's a promise. There's a transformation. There's a vibe and an energy and a collaboration and a connection. I mean, there's just so much that's happening on these in these spaces that goes way beyond the hotel or the venue or the food or those are yes, they're great. That
Mhm.
is not what you are selling. And so it really, I mean, I'm so glad you're here today because it really fires me up if you can't tell that people are devaluing themselves. They're devaluing themselves. They're devaluing the experience and they're devaluing the industry when they are not charging their worth.
Oh my gosh, that lit a fire in me. Just hearing that, I'm literally feeling so activated. And what really lands with me is that, you mentioned how it devalues, right? Because it does devalue the experience that you are cultivating and providing for your guests. Secondly, I think looking at your price point as energy. When
Hmm.
you see it through the lens of energy, it's like, okay, I'm bringing this amount of energy. Like, does this number make me feel good? And if it doesn't make you feel good, something's wrong there. It should light a fire in you. It should excite you. It should move you. You should be like, fuck yes, like, I can't wait to serve these people. Like, I can't wait. And if you're like, oh my God, I'm dreading this, oh, and it's that heaviness, and you should notice this is some somatic work here. Notice how it feels in your body, right? If it's making you feel like unmotivated or just not pulling you, that you don't have that passion for it, that's something to check in with yourself, to check in with what you're putting out, because it should have that price point should energetically reflect what you're feeling. And it's not per se the number, but it should really like be a match to your energy. And
Yes, I'm so glad, not to interrupt, but I'm so glad you said that because not everybody's energetic number is the same. And
exactly.
and while people might listen to this and go, there should be no profit in healing or transformation, y'all, then we might as well get rid of how the whole world operates. Dentists, doctors,
Great.
therapists, everything. Like everything has to have a profit. Hear me now. It has to have a profit to be sustainable. I don't care what service you are providing. It has to have a profit in order to be sustainable. Now, what your number is that's your number, right?
Yes.
That's
Yep.
your number. I'm not one to tell someone what their number is, but the number has to feel
Feel good.
good. I
Hmm.
mean, really good. To your point, when you show up, you're like, I am so excited to be here. I am going to give every single person on this in this space my very best. You just have to be like humming with a vibration because of this really good energetic match. And
Hmm.
so this is like obviously a topic that I'm very excited about. I will also say, we're talking about money here, and that always gets people all riled up. And, you probably shouldn't listen to this podcast if it does, but we're talking about money. We'll say sometimes it's the experience itself that up levels and now calls in a different person, right? And so, like my very first retreats, the first probably 4 or 5 years looked drastically different than they look today. And so that also says I'm calling in a different person today than I was calling in 10 years ago. And that's not necessarily a money thing, although, yes, my retreats have definitely elevated in luxurious type of things or whatever you want to call it. But the experience itself has elevated, which does have a
Yep.
financial exchange. But the experience just is different, right? Like the workshops are different, the outings are different, the discussions are different. The everything about my retreat is completely different today than it was 15 years ago. So I am not in that same space that I work with women primarily, but that she was in there then. They're not with me now necessarily, most of them. Some of them are, and I love you, but most of them aren't. And I'm not calling in the same person. And again, that part even has nothing to do with money necessarily. It's just a different experience altogether.
I think that when it comes to our business and anything that we do, business, anything we're creating, right? I'm saying the word business because we're on the topic of like retreats and all that. But who we are, like this vessel, right? I truly believe that we get to like co-create. So what, for example, our business, we are bringing a part of us into that. It's an extension of us. So why would you want to create something that's not in alignment with you? Why would you want to create something that is, then this was a big shift for me, that it's not necessarily following the demand, but it's in alignment with you. Because when you really harness what alignment looks like to you, it doesn't matter what everyone else is doing. You're still going, if you're rooted in that, you're still going to attract those who are meant to be part of whatever you are creating or cultivating. There are so many retreats in the last year that I've hosted, and I've had at least three women who came to all three. And that was beautiful to witness because as a whole, I am witnessing through my own evolution that these women are evolving with me. It's not to say that the others who aren't coming are not. Absolutely not. They're just in their seasons of whichever retreat resonates with them. But it's been beautiful to also see when someone intentionally and consciously says, no, I love what you're doing and I want to be a part of this. And again, that's everything that we're creating. It's coming from us. We are co-creating. We're co-creating whether it's with the universe or God's plans for you, like whatever that is, that highest timeline, your goal is to co-create with that. And that's how I see it. So I feel like I do a severe injustice to myself, to my community, when I'm not showing up in my truest expression. And my truest expression might be next year to host a retreat strictly based on identity activation, because maybe that's something that I just went through in my own life 6 months prior. And
Yeah.
I'm ready to share that with the world. I'm ready to talk about that. Now, the women who came in 2025, that might not resonate with them. And that's okay because I've learned that it doesn't matter who is surrounding you necessarily. Once your message is potent, it's clear, and you're very much rooted in the vibration of who you are, you're going to magnetize spaces. You're going to, whether it's online, in person, wherever your message is, and you're sharing that message, you will call in your tribe.
Man, you are nailing it, especially when you are fully rooted in your expression. There is, and I'm so sorry if you are listening, there is a woman, I saw her stuff on Facebook a while ago, and she does a retreat that is all about self-expression and confidence. It's just a really beautiful thing. She does it in the Sahara Desert with pole dancing in the desert with camels. Okay, listen, if you're not telling me she's not very laser focused on exactly what she's wanting to do and exactly the people she's wanting to call in, and looking through her stuff, it looks like she's nailing it right one after the other because she's in full alignment of exactly who she's calling in and what they're going to experience, what that promise and transformation is. And you could literally call in anything, like whatever it is that you are in alignment with, whatever it is that you are in alignment with, as long as it is true alignment. Because I will say, you are so right. There are a lot of retreat leaders, I think, that put together retreats based on what they think others will want or what the market looks like.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
just had an email today, actually, from someone who's wanting to book my venue. And she originally applied for a 7-day retreat, and that's the maximum that we do here at the ranch. But she originally applied for a 7-day retreat. And then afterwards, she's like, well, I'm noticing on your website that a lot of the people are more like 4 or 5 days. Should I go down to 4 or 5 days? And I'm like, girl,
Uh-huh.
if your experience is 7 days and that's what it takes to have that transformation or that promise, don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Like,
Mhm.
don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. And so, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's okay to ask questions and to try to figure out certain things. And it's definitely okay to do your research. But when you are full alignment with yourself and you know it's going to take 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, 14 days, I mean, definitely there's retreats around the world that are longer, then that is what you stick to. And you will call in the people who are meant for that.
Absolutely. I think that is, looking back, I can see why it's comfortable to want to um, really just listen or see whatever's happening and then adjust yourself to that because you think that's what's working, and obviously you're looking for the best possible outcome.
Right.
But there is a there's a silent trust, and it's a flex. It's to your inner self when you're like, nope, even though the market's doing that or the trend, whatever is happening, you know what's true to you. You're very much rooted in that. And as a leader, people see that. It's recognized. I really pride myself and take honor in what I like to call sovereign leadership, and it's your truth. It's
Mhm.
being able to fully be an expressive leader and extend that out to your community and to have your community like ever evolving. It doesn't always need to look the same. You have your values, respect, integrity, inclusivity, all the things that you really are, you're rooted in, right? Transformation. But beyond that, you give this flexibility of just like who you are to show up as that version of yourself. And I really think it's important to not dilute your authenticity and to not dilute what you consider to be like the thing for you. So,
Mhm.
yes, if it's 10 days, if it's 7 days, if it really is something that matters to you, you are the one cultivating this experience. People are leaving their homes, their families, they're investing and coming to something that you're creating. So you, as a leader, you have to trust that. Don't be
Mhm.
wishy-washy in what you're creating because you're the pillar of this creation. You're co-creating with the highest timeline, with God, with universe. You're co-creating with that force energy, right? So it's up to you to really harness that and to now extend it out to those who are meant to experience this with you. So if you're wishy-washy and you're feeling unsure, guess what? Subconsciously, you might attract people who are then unsure, who's going to message you and be like, hey, is this retreat blah, blah, blah long? Or is this, do you want that? No. That's why you
Can I
got to get
come
clear.
shorter days? Can I just come for 4 days? Can I
That's,
just come for 2 days?
yes,
Yes, yes,
yes,
yes.
yes.
And by the way, retreat leaders, the answer to that is no. When someone asks you if they can come for part of your retreat, it's disruptive. It's just not, it's not a good fit. Again, if you're doing a girls' weekend, knock yourself out. This has been such an incredible conversation. Tell us about what you have going on today. How can people find you? What do you tell us about your retreats? Like, talk to us.
Oh, I love this. Well, oh, so I have a retreat coming up in October. It is in Sedona. It's all of vortex energy. And this retreat is really curated around nervous system regulation, giving yourself the chance to also explore beyond just the physical body and really tap into the vortex energy and beyond. So I love to create experiences that people really get to take away, like tangible memories with them, pictures, bucket list things, and then like of course you have that internal shift and transformation. So we have like a day trip to Antelope Canyon. We're also going to the Horseshoe Bend. We're doing activations and meditations there, which again, this is why it's a retreat, not a vacation, because like while you can go see these places on your own, there's a different intentionality and a
Mhm.
different potency of when you do it in a sacred group. And you're like, okay, this day that I'm going to this location is dedicated to my inner child or whatever we're working on, etc. So that's coming up. Also, I have something that's really exciting me right now because it's something I've been wanting to launch for a while and I finally feel ready. It's called Retreat Mastery, and it's an 8-week immersion. It's a one-on-one container where I work with retreat leaders to really create your retreat from intention and ideation to execution. I feel like after being a guest at many retreats and also hosting many retreats, there are so many gaps that I've experienced or I've seen from obviously being on site, and being able to dissolve these issues, being able to set a retreat leader up for success. So I really, really thrive when it comes to like the creative world. So working with leaders in that capacity lights me up. So that's something that is launching in this quarter. And aside from that, I love to connect. So feel free to reach out via Instagram. I think that's maybe the one platform I'm on the most while I use TikTok and everything else. But Instagram is where I'm the most potent and I show up the most on. So my Instagram is mbsx underscore Raisah, my name. And there's my website as well.
And it
If
will
I
be
use
in the,
that.
yep, and it'll be in the show notes too, where they can connect with you. And I think you even have
Perfect.
a special offer for the guests as well.
Yes, yep. So for all those listening, if Sedona is calling your name, if you're looking for that activation, and this is really curated for the woman who's ready to step into that CEO energy. It's for the identity shift work and the shadow work. So if that's calling your name, for those listening, there is a promo that you can get 200 off of whatever package you choose for the Sedona retreat. And the first three people to book will also get a one on one identity activation session with me before the retreat. So we can really get into the essence of your intention, of the work beforehand, and set you up for success.
Woohoo! This is awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. This has been absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend you check out her stuff, you guys. I spent some time on her website and was watching some of the testimony videos, and oh my gosh, they gave me chills. So go check it out. Thank you again for being a guest.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for tuning in to the Retreat Leaders Podcast. If you love this episode, please make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your retreat besties. Want more support? Grab free resources at theretreatleadersplaybook.com. Until next time, lead boldly, serve deeply, and retreat profitably.